A secret in the spotlight and a career at the crossroads. This would be no ordinary day.
Premier, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm okay, thanks very much.
As the Premier headed to the office, her supporters hit the airwaves.
Glad's a wonderful person. She's a great Premier.
No one has handled the bushfires better than Gladys Berejiklian, and no one has handled this pandemic better than Gladys Berejiklian.
But it's how she's handled her personal life that's jeopardised her role as Premier. Gladys Berejiklian had a 5-year relationship with a former Wagga Wagga MP, Maguire, who was now the subject of an ICAC inquiry.
You've turned a blind eye to corruption and failed to report what was legally required of you to ICAC. A leader sets the standard for her government. What standard are you setting for New South Wales?
I reject the assertions in that question and say that at all times...
Member for Swansea.
And at all times I've put the people of this state
You
first.
haven't. You put Maguire before the people of this state.
The opposition honed in on taped phone conversations revealed at the ICAC that Mr Maguire would discuss his business dealings with the Premier.
He told you
You
what
were
he
on
was
2
doing.
calls.
You did not report it. Why?
If at any stage I knew that anything was going to happen that was wrong or anything wrong had occurred, because it is in the public interest for the public to know their Premier has at all times made sure that she or he has fulfilled their obligations in relation to all matters, whether it's in the public interest.
You think if you say it, it will be true.
The Premier has spent the past 2 days defending herself at the ICAC, in Parliament and to the media. She remains adamant that she will not resign, insisting that she didn't have intimate knowledge of Maguire's business dealings. And for now, that explanation seems to be accepted by her colleagues.
I stress again that I did nothing wrong, and if I had, I'd be the first one to put my hand up. Had I known that any wrongdoing was occurring at any stage, I would not have hesitated to act. In fact, I acted very swiftly when I've had to.
Gladys been a tremendous Premier, and she has my absolute support. And I thought she showed a lot of courage yesterday, but I also thought she showed a lot of humility, which is the Gladys I know.
The Premier is likely to face a grilling again in the Parliament tomorrow, when the opposition is due to move a no-confidence motion in her leadership. Ashley Raper, ABC News, Sydney.
While Gladys Berejiklian's nightmare is far from over, her supporters remain loyal.
Do you stand by Gladys Berejiklian?
Absolutely. She's a fantastic leader and she'll continue to be the Premier.
The only thing I'm shocked as is she made a decision to put herself punching below her weight like she has.
But there was one dissenting voice.
I think the government's had a terrible day yesterday with the Premier, and I think we really seriously now need to look at the next steps.
It's hard because a part of me is like, well, you know, we're all human, we all make mistakes.
I think it's a bit harsh to make her stand down at the moment, but I think at the very least she needs to probably put on hold any major decisions regarding the state.
Her personal life's her personal life, but if she knew about it, I guess that's where the issue gets a bit dodgy.
In the event of a leadership spill, Treasurer Dominic Perrottet would appear to be the likely successor, but he's caught up in his own controversy at the government's insurance company, iCare. Environment Minister Matt Keane could have a tilt at the top job, and Planning Minister Rob Stokes is also a likely contender.
The likely successor would be a senior minister, which comes down to Dominic Perrottet of the right and Rob Stokes from the left moderate faction of the party. Rob Stokes would be more likely to have the numbers, and Dominic Perrottet's had problems with his portfolio in recent times.
Gladys Berejiklian's survival may depend on what Maguire says when he fronts the ICAC. One of his former business associates told the inquiry today that his devices were destroyed in a farm accident.
And you understood him to mean, I've destroyed some of my devices to try and destroy records. Is that right?
Yes. Maguire is expected to finally give evidence tomorrow. Kathleen Ferguson, ABC News, Sydney.